These three items are, they go together in different ways, so I will start with this item. This has been made out of ivory. It was probably from a walrus. I can see by the way that the grains go on this that they are in similar directions. The walrus tooth grows out like this, and so you'll see layers of in the ivory. If it were a mammoth tusk, the ancient animals, then there would be a crossing point where the growth patterns cross over, and you can see that in the ivory, and I don't see that on this. This was probably put on a string and used around the necklace, but it also has the hole here, which tells me it was used as a fire starter. So this is the stick that would be used for it. Oh no, this one has a point on it. So this would be similar to a fire-started stick. And this would go into the end of this. And they would hold it in their mouth, and they would put a piece of leather or twine that would go around here, and it would twist back and forth. And then you would put that into this third piece here. You can see that, nope, this is why I thought of it, because these round spots here. This would be put into here. There would be tufts of, what do you call it, grass or feathers or twigs or even sinew to use as a fire starter. And we would have a catch like this, where it would be, once we started the fire here, it would go into the catch like this over here, and then it would catch these onto fire, and then we would move it into the fire pit. Now this one definitely isn't that, because you can see that there's a decorative piece of ivory that's been put in here. It has these additional pieces here. So this makes me wonder about this, because it's got a groove here. So I'm not sure exactly what this may have been used for. Because it's got a handle, you would think about what it's been used for, but these could have been decorative. And then because of this, you also think about the use of an atla. So you might have a spot where this kind of thing was put in here, and it's used as a throwing stick. It adds to the speed that the projectile moves, so that you can get closer to an animal and penetrate with your spear tip. So this one, when I first looked at it, that's what I thought, but now that I have it out, definitely it's not. This tip for this projectile is metal, so it very likely it was traded from another area to be used in this. This is actually made out of baleen. The baleen was cut down very thin. It was thinned out to allow it to be used as an item to tie the point onto the projectile. In our area, the baleen was used in so many different ways. It could be made into ropes, it was made into nets, it was made into decorative pieces for regalia, as well as into icons and different things to use for totems and that type of stuff, as well as other tools that were important for our usage. Because this has the angle that is put in here, I really think it was contributory to some type of weapon, but I'm not sure. This wood would not have been very likely in my area, so it's probably come from further south from us, and then there will be somebody else who could say why these specific things were put here. I don't know that specifics, but I could relate to some of the uses. If this was a spear point, there are some of our spear points that do have the groove like this on this side, as well as the catch right here. That was to allow the penetration to go into the animal so that there would be, the blood would drain out and the animal would weaken and we would be able to harvest it. And so it might take a number of strikes to allow that to happen, but that would, because it's got this groove here, that's what it reminds me of. I've seen various points where we had that same type of thing. Because this is wood, it doesn't appear to be one that would have been used as a projectile to be used in any of our sea mammals, but it might have been okay to use in some of the smaller animals. So it could have been used for that. It definitely was made to be a handle of sorts, so I wonder about that. But I'd like to know what others from Alaska would say about this item. So this one.